Pat Brady is standing by. I don't know if Pat was listening. I've nominated you for Speaker of the House. I vote for you.
I'd be a good speaker. The first thing I would do is I'd adjourn Congress and say, we're not coming back for 4 years. We don't want to do anything.
There you go. I would second you, Pat.
And by the way, not to give them any more time off just because he doesn't want any more damage.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't do anything. I'll go home and raise some money and have fun.
So here's my question. Jim Jordan is 20 votes short. Is there any chance he finds him? I mean, it seems to me like that's next.
Yeah, slim and none. I've always thought that the reason he's never going to get there is there are 18 members whose districts were won by Joe Biden in 2020. So they're going to vote for the guy that's leading the impeachment inquiry against the president who won their district. I mean, just the politics of it don't make sense. And I think there are a lot of people, just from some of the folks I've talked to in the last 24 hours, don't like Jim Jordan's approach in the past, kind of the scorched earth, far-right Trump approach to running the House. They don't like, and they don't want him in that role.
He's done nothing legislatively. This is not an exaggeration. As opposed to Steve Scalise and Kevin McCarthy, to be fair, he's accomplished nothing legislatively, and everything he has pushed forward or tried to push forward has no Democrat co-signee, co-sponsor. You're the Speaker of the House, meaning both parties. Mm-hmm. Granted, you're going to take care of your own, but you have to be able to negotiate with the other side. There's not a single Democrat who would go within a mile of him.
Yeah, in his defense, he has tempered it somewhat, and it's just been.
He's trying to get elected.
No, but even in the last couple of years, there's just some people I really respect that are supporting him that say he's not as bad as he's been seen in the past. That being said, I agree. I think we need somebody. Looks like they might just expand the powers of Patrick McHenry, the temporary speaker, to be able to make Congress function to get this spending bills and things through, and hopefully that's what they do. But it's not a good look for Republicans right now.
Oh, not at all. Okay, so Pat, if not Jim Jordan, which it doesn't seem like it's going to be, and after they expand the powers of Patrick Henry, who would be next? Who would even be a couple of options?
Is there anybody of the 445 that could come close to 217?
Not right now, and that's been the discussion. And I talk to people. I'm not pretending to know what's going on in their conference completely, but take a step back. It typically is somebody you don't think is the front runner. I mean, that's how Speaker Hastert got elected. That's how Paul Ryan got elected. It's not usually the person that's out front, but I don't know. Is it Elise Stefanik? Is it McHenry? Is it Emmons from Minnesota? I don't know, but it's tough when you've got 9 or 10 or 15 people that weren't going to like anybody, right? So I don't really know, Andre. It's really a big question mark. But if they extend McHenry's powers and keep Congress functioning at least at a minimal level, I guess maybe that's where we're going to be.
And if he was given that extension, how long would it last?
I think they can decide how long it's going to last and what exactly the scope of it is. It's all according to their own rules, but they have to get through the spending bill. There's going to be a $100 billion foreign aid package for Ukraine and Israel, and hopefully some border security coming up. So they have to start functioning. But right now, they don't have a Congress.
Well, the logical
we don't have a Congress.
The logical answer here is, and nobody's been harder on Kevin McCarthy than me, but the logical answer here is to take the guy who was eliminated because he made a deal to get the job with one goofball from Florida to say one member could bring up a vote for your ouster. And then because it's such a tight margin, the lame 8 decided he had to go. Isn't the answer to bring McCarthy back? It's not sucking up. It's not saying, and as you said, you make up your own rules. Make it as temporary as you want, but you have to have somebody in that job. He was doing the job.
Yeah, but you're assuming that somebody like Matt Gaetz is rational, and he's not. It's all about him running for governor in Florida. He could care less about Israel or the American people. It's all about him. But
they're all about survival, and since they're all about survival and seeing the fallout that's gone on, if they're at all outside the Beltway, they should understand this damages the Republican Party label every day.
They don't care. They don't care. If they cared, would they support Donald Trump the way they do, which his brand every minute of the day damages the Republican Party. He's done it for the last 6 years. They don't care.
So what happens? The government shuts down in 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it is. We go to war in the Middle East. We don't have fun. What happens?
Well, they'll get the funding done, and it takes, I think, a lot more below the democracy than problems within the Republican caucus. But the bigger question to me is just politically, as you've touched on, the Republicans at this point have shown they just don't have the ability to govern, and that's what hurts them so deeply. But it'll get done. I'm confident it'll get done. It's just so messy and so unnecessary and so self-absorbed. Matt Gaetz could care less about anybody.
No, he's a joke. He's an absolute joke.
And he's not alone in that. But on the flip side, there's some really watch some of these and talk to some people. There's some really good, serious public servants in the House of Representatives on both sides that want to get stuff done. They're just being held hostage by this group of whack jobs that think that their Twitter feeds and going on Fox News is all they need to do.
Yeah, and it's all they want to do. Before we run out of time here with Pat Brady, who should be the new Speaker of the House, even though I prefer him not.
She's more level-headed.
You didn't allow me to finish the insult. When he speaks to me on a golf course, I don't like it, but I think he'd be a good speaker.
I think he would be too.
But Andrea wants to second the notion you had a week or two ago saying Nikki Haley's on the rise. You are impressed?
You know what? And you and I were texting Steve about this over the weekend. Pat, I might have even been texting you too. Every time Nikki Haley speaks or says something, I like her more and more and more. And I know she's surging now. She's just right behind DeSantis. But when she was talking, she knows foreign policy. She's been in the tunnels that we're talking about, in Gaza and in Israel.
She's absolutely qualified.
She is, I want to know your thoughts of her, what her chances might be, in your opinion. And I really like her. Yeah.
No, I agree. I got the opportunity to spend 40 minutes with her a couple months ago. She is everything you see on television and more. She's smart. She's tough. She's experienced. She has a government experience. She's been a governor. She's been a street fighter her whole life. She's always been the one that nobody wanted to win, and she won. If the Republican Party nominates Nikki Haley, it is a game changer in that we can bring some Andrea people, suburban women or city women that want to see. I tell you what, on the flip side of that too, on the Democratic side, I saw Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, speak yesterday. Equally good.
Yeah, she's strong.
I'm 100%. Nikki Haley should be our next president, I believe, and I'm 100% in with her. But the Democrats have some choices too, and I've said for a while I believe it's the year of the woman. I think we have good, strong women running on both sides. If they get to if we don't have Trump and Biden, just to finish up here, I'm watching Biden on all these TV shows, and I voted for him because I can't stand Trump. But we've got to have a president that can articulate a reason that we're in all these wars.
Right.
We need this money. And I honest to God, I just don't see it. It has trouble getting his thoughts together. And we need a really strong, articulate, persuasive president. We just don't have it right now.
Jim Jordan, last point. Don Bacon, the Republican from Nebraska, got a word from his wife that anonymous text threats were coming to her if he didn't turn his vote over and vote for Jim Jordan. The anonymous sender said, "Your husband will not hold any political office ever again. What a disappointment and failure he is." The intimation being, and supposedly Jordan brought this up at a private meeting the other day, that anybody that doesn't come around and vote for him would be primaried. He'd reach out to Hannity, he'd reach out to whomever, and they would be media primaried as well.
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
There's chatter, and there's a lot of headlines on it today that Jim Jordan denies he had any responsibility for, so I take him at his word, but that the far-right folks did that media where you tell Sean Hannity that you're not supporting Jim Jordan, and he posts a list of the 20 people that didn't vote for him. Well, you know what? A lot of people that angers, and they don't want to be seen as a tool of the far right or Sean Hannity. Remember, guys, 2.8 million people a night watch him in a country of 320 million. Who cares what Sean Hannity thinks? Who cares?
Yeah. Amen. Right. You should only care what Pat Brady and I think. And Andrea.
I would.
And Nick.
Really listen to me or you, Steve. I'd listen to Andrea.
Oh, you're the best, Pat.
The good thing is this show, when you put it up against everything else that's out there, it's not bad.
Way above average now.
Yeah,
you're going up that. You're going to what's the B grade?
I don't know. Marv and Stephanie came to me yesterday and said, "What do you think about a billboard that says Steve Cochran in the morning?" Not bad.
Not bad.
I said, "Well, it's not bad, but I don't know how you spell." Thank you, Pat.
See you, Pat.
All right, guys. Have a good day.